I have a big problem. I'm Russian.
Russia's propaganda machine is moving into high gear as the war in Ukraine nears its first
I've been living
anniversary.
in special military operation Russia.
Has killed off independent media, but not independence.
We know there's a high chance that anybody who takes any of these deals and goes to the Russian front does not come home alive.
Okay, too dramatic. It's not really a problem, it's also a blessing. I love this country, it's the most beautiful country in the world. It has everything that other countries are proud of. Mountains, lakes, seas, ancient architecture, old European cities and modern megapolises. For real, the amount of different cultures, history and just great people is huge. And every foreigner I met, I always tried to promote going to Russia, and I think I always will. Well, maybe not right now. Also, even I was only in like a small part of my country through my whole life. That's why I have to borrow this footage. Thanks, Artlist. Anyway, hi, my name is Alexander, but you can call me Sasha. I'm 26, which I bet you can't tell because of my baby face. I am video producer, digital storyteller, a YouTuber in the past, which I hope you can tell because my editing is not so shitty as it was 7 years ago.
What's your name?
Alexander, yeah?
Alexander. Nice to meet you, Alexander.
Little Alexander Slavin.
Talented Russian filmmaker, YouTuber, journalist. Please welcome Alexander Slavin.
Yeah, I call myself a digital storyteller.
При этом кто он сам такой, кто ты такой?
I've been working with different companies, brands, football clubs, media agencies. I also worked as a journalist a bit. My whole life I've been living in Moscow, but right now, well, this is apartment in Belgrade, Serbia, which I've been renting, but pretty much I consider myself homeless. And the worst part is I feel lucky, because people also live like this. Of course, it's Ukraine. This is the country I visited a lot of times, the country where I have friends, the country which is destroyed by the government of my country. So you can see why I feel a bit confused. Okay, this is an understatement. For the last year I've not had a single day without thinking about all of this. And I needed to do something. So, I made a plan. It's called How to Unstuck. So, welcome to my unstucking. Although it will be more useful to just go to a therapist, but it's not fun. Also, I'm very sorry for my thick Russian accent. You can turn on the captions to understand what the hell I'm even saying. This is the best I can do. I decided to start with understanding the war. Oh, this will be a no-brainer and easy part. The only question you need to ask is who is on the land of another independent country, and it's Russian government. It's the only aggressor here. Vladimir Putin needed rating boosts and he wanted to recreate the success of first Crimea annexation. So he tried to do it, but they just underestimated and really didn't understand the Ukrainians at all. Of course, there's a lot of different things, a lot of parties involved, but they are not important, because the only thing you need to understand, Russian government is killing Ukrainians on the Ukrainian land.
Первые 2 дня боялись, теперь уже не боимся мы.
That's pretty much it. Let's move to the second point. Hello? I don't want to dig this any deeper, this wasn't the point of the video. I will not. Oh, for fuck. Okay, I hear you. This is clearly not just a government problem, because a lot of people support this war inside the country. First of all, you don't really know how many people are pro-war and how many are against, because you are relying on sociology in times of war, when you are officially can't call it a war. If you want to see how scared people are to talk about this in Russia, watch a beautiful channel 1420. The guy behind it is asking Russians tough questions on the streets, and you can see some representatives for yourself. Second thing, nearly everyone who supports the war sees it as a necessary defense mission. It's a Joseph Goebbels by his own book. Make your people think they are in danger and then tell them their government is going to defend them. That's it, they are ready to overlook the genocide of Jews or Ukrainians. And the third thing, a lot of these people made an unofficial pact with the government some time ago. It's going something like this: they are not really involved in politics and they can enjoy their life. That's because of the pretty rough last years of the Soviet Union and the chaos of 90s. That was a scary bedtime story for any kid my age. The problem is they can't enjoy their lives anymore, but they are still trying to think that is how stability looks. But even in this environment, we had a lot of opposition and politics at one time. Look, here's me 11 years ago on the protest. Yeah, I'm 16 here, stop laughing. Anyway, behind me are Boris Nemtsov, who was killed in 2015 right under the Kremlin's walls, Garry Kasparov, who fled the country 1 year after this photo, Mikhail Kasyanov, who was attacked multiple times after that. I'm pretty sure somewhere there are Navalny and Yashin who are imprisoned now. My point is, I was part of this for more than a decade, and it was always looking worse and worse. The points of protest were more childish, the leaders of protest were being arrested, attacked, pushed out of the country, or even killed. It was always getting darker, like in Harry Potter's movies. And all of this time, when I traveled the world, people were telling me how strong of a leader Putin is, and how they want their leaders to be more like him. So this is also not just a Russian problem. I don't blame the foreign people, they don't have to understand. But I'm surely blaming the foreign governments, who did nothing all these years. Even after Crimea and the real start of the war in 2014, they were still trading, still buying gas and oil and giving home to Russian billionaires, who are the wallet of Putin. Oh, but now you are concerned and want to do something. How nice. Do I feel responsible about the Ukraine war? Maybe a bit, maybe not. Anyway, this is for me to decide. This is about my conscience. I didn't break any law. Only real criminals are going to be held for their crimes. Those who were giving orders, those who were carrying out orders. And trying to hold responsible people who, for example, are silent is giving a real criminal's chance to escape justice. Silence is a freedom of speech and a huge part of democracy. I went on this protest for freedom of any speech, not just mine. Look at him, he still thinks he can change something. Pure soul. Anyway, when you are making this collective responsibility, you help only Putin to spread the real responsibility and minimize their own fault. When you are saying Russians are like this, it's an imperialistic gene, it's in their blood, they are slaves. Well, basically you are making a point about the one nation's inferiority, which is, you know, a very historically bad take. And secondly, you are saying that there is no point to fight. Why trying? It's going to be the same. I don't take offense when Ukrainians are saying something like this. Basically, they can say everything they want right now, except politicians. But if you are not hurting, stop trying to make everyone else at fault, and let's fight together against the war. Time to move on. The second part of a plan. Feel sorry for yourself. Yeah, several days into the war, still being in Russia, I was like a zombie. My mother said she can't recognize me and she's worried I'm seriously ill. I was just scrolling the news feed and one moment I read about one of Putin's troops being completely destroyed. And I realized I was smiling. I was smiling about people being killed. And this is the people of my country. And I was smiling about them being dead. This is what the war is doing to you. And this is just mental side. Cause in the physical world I had to go to another country with no work and no money because I left everything in Russia just to be able to say the word war. I didn't see any of my family for a year. So I am a victim and I have a right to feel sorry for myself. Yes, I am lucky to not be bombed. I am lucky to have friends who gave me a home for first months here. I am lucky I don't feel my family in Moscow is in everyday danger like Ukrainians. But it doesn't mean I am not a victim of this. There's always someone whose life is worse. That doesn't mean your problems are worthless. So, I allowed myself to feel sorry. Next step is to stop caring to care more. Wait, what? Yeah, this is a tricky one, but really short. I already mentioned I don't take offense from Ukrainians, but what you really need is to not care. So when a Ukrainian, for example, tells you all Russians are bad and he wants all of you to die, you just ignore him, right? Oh, bloody hell. Okay, this was a long time ago, now I am definitely better. So, when the Ukrainian football player of your favorite team is making peace with a Russian player from the opposite team, which is really nice, but then tells everyone he's sorry for shaking his hand, it's surely not your problem and he can be a piece of shit on his own, right? What are you doing? What am I doing? Well, I'm 100% still need to work on this, but to be fair, it's a rare occasion now, and I realized when I stop caring about how people feel about me, about my country, or anything related to me, I start caring a lot more about real problems, about people, about myself. You know, when there's a war in the country you love so much and basically in your country, some Twitter guy's opinion about you is literally irrelevant. So I don't care anymore. Well, mostly. But I still didn't feel complete, and I realized I need something in life which can make me better, move me forward. I need a passion. And my passion is this. It's creating content. I also realized that for the last year I've been only consuming. I've been doing really nice videos with the media I'm working for, which if you know Russian, definitely check it out, it's pretty good. But it's still a job, and even if it's not about the war, I just consume. I stopped creating, I stopped making videos for myself, and when creative person like I am just consumes content, they are fading away. I'm German, for a bit. My grandfather is the son of German and Jew, which I find just astonishingly perfect for this topic. Anyway, there's a great word for passion in German, Leidenschaft. And if you translate it literally by words, it's something like to bear with suffer. Also, you know, the passion of Jesus, all this stuff. The weird point I'm trying to make is that passion can walk you through pain and suffering, and also move you forward out of all this. So, I made a channel, this channel, to create content, to connect with new people and international viewers, because right now I don't want to do content in Russian. I love my culture, I love my language, I love my background, I love who I am. But the environment right now is crazy. It's more toxic than ever, it's more divided than ever. Also, I want to be better in English, I want to be more relevant internationally, and I just want to create what I want to create. I didn't have this privilege 7 years ago starting on YouTube, so I was sticking with football. It's still a huge part of my life, but not everything. That's why this channel will be about everything relevant to me, and I really hope to make it relevant to you. Like this one. Did I make this plan and video for myself? Yeah. Is this plan useful for you? I don't think so. Will this video help anyone? I really hope it will. Will anyone watch it? Well, I don't know, these algorithms are crazy, man. But you can help by liking, subscribing and sharing. You know, for a better cause. It's so stupid. Nah, I can't end video like that. A lot of my projects lasted 1 or 2 videos, so there is a possibility this is the first and the last here. I hope not. I just wanted to say that if you want what media calls to stand with Ukraine, the best thing you can actually do is to just be a human being. Donating, keeping it in the news is good, but you need to understand the tragedy of war and not making it a fucking football match like I am rooting for this one, who are you rooting for? I don't think these are going to win. You are continuing these cycles of hate and we need to break them. I see it every day here in Serbia. People are in pain because those in power are making them remember, leaving the ruins of the bombings in the center of the capital city, talking about Kosovo being heart and soul of Serbia. Just leave people alone. They literally love everyone. Russians, Ukrainians, Americans. Or you are doing the same thing occupants in my country are doing. You're dividing people. Me and you, we are different. But we can make so much stuff on that difference. This is not an obstacle. This is a foundation. To build something, to create something, to do something. Like liking this video and subscribing for this channel.